Hello guys, and welcome back to Power and Revolution 2020 edition, continuing our Israeli playthrough here. Last episode, we finally got our country out of a deficit, just barely, but these small numbers are big to us, and it should still be changing. So now we will be working on bringing down our debt. I just got a slight positive bonus to my popularity from a funeral. We got an agent in the Martyrs of God, finally. So let's hope he doesn't die in a week or so. I'll probably try to dismantle it again. Our agents aren't that good, so I don't want to leave him in there for too long. And yeah, here's the funeral appearance. My finances must definitely be doing well because I just got another boost from public finances. We're getting real close to 100% popularity. And now we have a meeting with the leader of Italy, which I guess was set up at the end of last episode. This guy looks scarier in his portrait than here. Let's see, what do you want to trade? What do you want? You want to sell me something. You want to... What? You want to sell me an anti-missile battery. Quality 2, whereas I can already make my own and apparently have a higher national production than you do. You want to sell me an anti-missile battery. I'm going to have to say no to that. Sorry, Italy. But I'll give you a coffee. And I know you'll probably say no, but do you want a non-aggression pact? Yeah, I mean, I like to check. You never know, just in case. They're very neutral with me. They don't like me as much as some. Israel's diplomatic situation in the world's like really weird. They're hated by North and South Korea. Belarus really hates them for some reason. It's understandable that a lot of the Muslim countries hate them, but for some reason India likes them. Poland loves them. The US makes sense, but why Brazil? 1.5% more popularity just for meeting with the leader of Italy. That's probably because I've taken away a lot of our democratic freedoms. So my people are probably happy, like, oh my god, opening the door to democracy. I haven't taken away that many, to be honest. All I've taken away really is the powers of parliament. But more will probably follow. We'll see. I'm not going to do it right now because we're still trying to get up to 100% popularity, and I want to get up there before I start fucking around with shit like that. And Japan discovered the optic computer and put it on the public domain. Okay, well, that means I have the optic computer now. The leader of Djibouti wants to meet with me. All right. It's such an interesting cast of characters that wants to meet with me. I'm not familiar with getting these ones. But then again, I've never played Israel. I still have no idea how this playthrough is going to go. We haven't gotten started on anything militaristically. I mean, our military is smaller than it was at the start. As you can see, we already have a number bug, so that's unfortunate. No matter what I do, it will show that it's going to do that, basically. Oh, did it just go away? Oh my god, it finally went away. Dude, this number bug has been on since I started playing the game today, and it just finally went away. It took like 2 weeks in game or something, I don't know. But we just got a 6.2% increase. Pretty nice increase. We saw another half of this earlier when I first put into the parliament, or I guess just to be drafted, this law on rent increases. I did this last episode, regulate rent increases from no regulation to index-linked rent increases to kind of help with the homeless situation, help the poverty rate, just help my people in general. And I don't think it would reflect yet, but let me take a look. Purchasing power, well, it's on the rise. It's still apparently bad since the start of the game. But purchasing power is on the rise. I hate that this is the main way to, like, track your purchasing power. The only other way I can think of is just to go to population and look at the poverty rate, which is on a nice decline. So our people are getting richer, they are getting better, and someone was assassinated. That sucks. There goes some popularity. Speaking of, I think we've been in here for a week now, haven't we? Yep, a little over. So let's go ahead and dismantle now that your chances are highly increased. And oh look, just as I said, opening the door to democracy. You see? Oh, so we just got the research, Mastery of Nuclear Fission. That's interesting. We're present to generate phenomenon reactors and recover the produced energy. I don't know what this does. Okay, so this boosts nuclear submarine production and nuclear electricity. So I am going to not share that to the entire world. Thank you very much. I don't want... It doesn't give it, right? So if I patented it, it's not like people would be able to produce nuclear submarines. But I'm just going to keep that for myself because I'd rather not boost the production of nuclear submarines among other nations. And as for nuclear power, I mean, yeah, that could be kind of cool. to give to other countries, but at the same time, I just don't want to encourage other countries to go into anything nuclear, because that could end poorly. Our growth has actually taken a little bit of a step down from a little over 3% to 2.83% right now. The unemployment at 4.28, it's still just been slowly going down. Inflation is up another 0.01, but other than that, it's doing fine. So somewhat economy related, we do have a small amount of natural gas in our country, especially down here around this open fieldy area here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually maybe start placing some of these down. At least one to start, because we did place our first oil well, and it didn't really change much. Unfortunately, it wasn't a lot. Natural gas, we have some kind of production of. I don't know where the hell it's coming from, because we don't have anything placed down. But we're in the negative there too. So just to get something building that could give the economy a little boost later on, I'm just going to place it down. It's going to take 120 days anyway. Speaking of, we're 164 days into making this solar plant. There's another, well, basically the rest of the time before it's actually done. How's our electricity situation? We are now consuming more than we have placed. That could be a yikes. I think just to kind of maybe get around that a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and place another solar plant, because I don't know how much this first one's going to give. So I'm just going to put a second one just in case, roll out another 160 days after that. Okay, yeah, of course they're claiming responsibility. We got some slight boost for energy and energy independence. The environmentalists didn't really like it though. How do the environmentalists feel about me right now? Ecologist, he doesn't like me. Animals, doesn't really like me. Hunters do like me. And the Minister of the Environment loves me, but I guess he doesn't really count. Do they have an association? Is there an environmentalist association? Ecologists. Oh, but it's bugged. There's some new bug in the 2020 edition where if you click on one of these, it just doesn't open. The only way I've found to fix it is to literally just reload your save. It's really annoying, but I guess I can live without it. We have our meeting with the leader of Djibouti, who would like to purchase from me fowl. Why does everyone want to purchase fowl from me? I mean, all right. Sure. Let's see what we can come to an agreement in. 1,777 purchase. And that's, my sale price is much lower. This is a very small contract. We're dealing with a very small country here. Let's do 1,606. Bring it down 101. Oh, you've gotten a worse deal for me now. 1,505. No. Oh, shit. He doesn't want it anymore. Well, I'll give you a coffee just to be polite, but fuck you, buddy. Well, that was unfortunate. He had his best offer at the start, but he didn't like the amount I was going down by, I guess. Hey, Uganda likes us. Cool. So I'm really not expecting much from these gas wells, because they're weak and average on oil. Barely did anything for us. The cost over 5 years isn't even $10,000 per, so I'm just going to go ahead and set some more up while I'm just at it, basically. We can have 5 oil and gas wells individually, basically, in every single province or region without suffering any negative effects. So, my game is locking up on me. Hopefully it's not crashing. Okay, it's not crashing, it's just freaking out. Alright, well, more gas. So I just want to get this going since, you know, there is a limit to what we can have here as Israel. We only have so much, and it's not going to be life-changing for our economy. Freezing up again. Okay, it doesn't like when I click this too soon after placing something, apparently. Because the game repeatedly freezes up when I do this. Man, let me tell you, this game definitely feels buggier than the 2019 edition. Alright, and there's our 5th one. The ecologists hate me. That's one downside to what I'm doing. The ecologists hate me. I'm sorry. I didn't think it would be so hated. I got a positive boost for it before. Now it's just like, oh, we hate you. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe I can make the ecologists happy by increasing spending in, well, here in general. So to try to make the ecologists a little happier, I'm just going to increase my spending in major natural risks preventions that we have a risk of. Here, it's going to cost a decent bit, honestly. But I'm hoping it'll help. There's a riot I'm going to have to deal with here in a moment. Because it's probably the ecologist. Yeah, the ecologist group is rioting, of course. Because what better way to show how much you care about the environment? Oh, this should be easy. You're all surrounded in one square by police? This should be easy, no problem. We have apparently gotten rid of that terrorist group. They're gone. We got rid of the only terrorist group in our country that was actually active and working against us. Now we can try to get rid of the Russian mafia before calling our country terrorist-free, and we appeared for Yom Kippur. Kippur? I don't know how to say it. So the ecologist group president is warning me that he hates my guts, basically. Military intervention, sad face. What? Military intervention, sad face. Oh, it must be from the riot or whatever. Environment happy, public finances sad. So yeah, my extra spending in here did make the ecologist group, at least the president, like me more. This ecologist man definitely just still hates my guts. What's something I could do to make him like me a little more? I mean, we have a lot of environmental spending as it stands already. One thing I could do, as you see, we already actually reforest areas. You know, I'm curious. Let's look this up. Where would we find that? Environment, forest surface in percentage. Wow, we have almost no forest coverage percentage at all. I mean, we're in a desert, so that makes sense. But we are actively reforesting things, which is pretty cool. I think I'll increase the spending to reforestation and afforestation to make sure we stay on that, you know. That would be better. I think that helps your CO2 as well, at least in real life it would. And this should definitely give me a popularity boost of some kind, and it should definitely make the ecologists like me a bit more. Okay, that's a really teeny tiny environment boost, probably because I just increased so much spending. But okay, the ecologist himself does not hate me anymore. That's progress. So the employers in my country hate my guts. So just as a way to test the waters here, let me take a look at uranium. Degree of nationalization, under control of the state. Let's poll the people. They're quite happy with this for whatever reason. Poll the people on this. All right, they're just happy either way. So let's put uranium under full control of the state because it's not an active sector, and it's much easier to get a sector running again if it's under your control rather than otherwise. And we may not even have uranium. So this is one thing I can do to maybe just keep the employers a little happier with me, and if everyone else likes it as well, that would be cool. Great. So that's basically just saying that my secret services aren't the best and they can't really tell who's responsible for what. That's good. So we did in fact get a little boost from the public sector. That's really interesting. There's not like he doesn't feel much better about me just yet, but there's not like an ante to the employers, is there? Like a capitalists association or something, or like a free market one. I'm not quite sure if there is. Oh, we also don't have coal, so let's go ahead and do this for coal as well. And let me just poll just to make sure. All right, people are still happy with it. Let's do that. That will hopefully make the employers like me more as well. We may not have any of these resources, so I may just not be able to restart these sectors, but we have so little actually missing. Most of this stuff is just stuff I have to build to get it active, so it doesn't really count as deactive, but these ones that produce passively are the ones that I would want to nationalize and then try to get going again. Yeah, the people are happy with what I'm doing regarding the public sector, so that's at least good. So we've crossed over into a new quarter, and for once we actually made a cash surplus of 2.28 billion. While that's not really much in terms of the grand scheme of all of our debt, which right now is at, where do I find it? 242 billion, and it's gone up since the start of the game, of course. We still have a budget excess projected for the rest of the year. We still are better off than we were in terms of our actual budget, and it's at least good to see things going the right way. Unemployment is down like 1/3% since we started today, which is really good. We attended a funeral. Our public finances are looking better. That's probably because of the extra money taking away some of our debt. The people probably liked that. So one thing I keep getting reminded of in this game is the fact that the leader of Israel has a retardedly large salary. So I'm going to go modify this down to something more reasonable. Let's do like $15,000 per month. Yes, That's a lot lower than it is now, but I think the people would like it if I did this. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. I did some checks for it. We have insufficient deposits. Okay, yes. So I have nationalized the uranium sector, and I decided to go ahead and test to see if we did have any deposits. And there's no uranium, really, or there's not enough in the country to turn it into anything. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this. Just have to fire the workers because we don't have enough to actually make a sector. So it's just going to stay nationalized, which the employers should like, I believe. Someone's going to like that anyway. Unemployment's dropping fast. It is. It really is. Unemployment's at 3.92%. I don't know how. I don't know how unemployment is going down so much. I fired everyone in the army accidentally, and it's just been going down. Telecommunication deployment of fiber optics. Okay. This is a new research. Let's go ahead and check out what kind of effect it does. Someone asked me how I actually find out what these technologies do, and this is how I do it. You go to research, you go to discoveries, and then you find whatever it is you discovered. 2020, fiber optics. Is it this? It's the 1 gigabit internet? Yeah. And this affects numerical networks and infrastructure. Okay, so for example, then I can go to, I believe it's services? Is that where that is? Yes. And then we can see here what this is. And we see that this would get a buff from this technology, which it will no matter what I select. However, again, since our economy is so teeny tiny, I'm just going to patent this so that the other economies can benefit from it as well, while using our patent and making us more money and boosting our economy, basically. That's basically the way the game translates it. Whereas if you refuse, then you just keep it for yourself and your own economy. Falling estimate. I mean, it was down to 2.8 whatever. I don't think going up another quarter of a percentage is falling. Oh, look, a terrorist attack in Syria. What else is new? I'm going to go ahead and continue the little trend here and try to put cocoa under the control of the state, which I believe should only be well liked so far. All of our nationalization decisions have been well liked by the people, because getting the farming things back online, if we can, would definitely be valuable. Separate to what any employers think, this would be a valuable thing to get going. Okay, what happened? State employees, sad face. Oh, they're sad face because they got fired. Economy, sad face for some reason I don't understand. And what else? Demonstration. And what are you demonstrating about? The employers. It's just the employers being unhappy. I don't know how to make the employers happy without reducing their taxes. But unfortunately, they're losing me some of these popularity points that I am desperately trying to claw out. Maybe I should earn some more by raising some funding here in culture. How much would that cost? This already costs quite a bit. What if I go for 2 stars instead? Anything that doesn't have stars up to 2 stars? A lot of things already have 2 stars. Not very expensive. Sure, let's go ahead and try to raise some culture. Maybe that will make people happy. Maybe they'll just get upset with the reduction in public finances. I don't know. We still have a budget excess. I could always piss off the employers even more with a higher tax on company turnover. We're struggling. We're fighting in order to balance making our people like us and make sure our country proceeds with getting out of debt, proceeds with keeping its economy relevant, and just gets better overall. At the very least, that gave us a small little boost. When you get things like culture and sports up, though, your people tend to appreciate it. They tend to like it. And it has recurring effects once it gets high enough, anyway. There was something I wanted to do. I do this almost every time. Women are feeling pretty neutral with me, and the women organization tends to oppose the feminist organization. So I'm going to go ahead and make, make prostitution legal. The people seem like they will like it. It doesn't cost me anything. It just makes something legal, really. We don't fully promote contraception at the moment. It would be pretty cheap to do it, but our population's already so low. I don't know if I want to do that. Our growth is good, right? But again, our population's so tiny, I don't know if I want to promote contraception just yet. I don't know if I want to actually pay for it. It would definitely make women like me. Security happy, women's rights sad. Well, okay, I guess that's a security thing. If it's regulated, that means less crime around it, especially if it's not illegal anymore. The moment you make something legal, you immediately have less crime. Child mortality rate's going down, that's good. Fertility rate seems to be going up slowly but surely. Growth itself is going down. I believe that has more to do with the fact that immigration has gone down, but is teeny tiny going up. Probably things where I get rid of, Egypt bought 2 nuclear missiles from what? Heck. Nuclear warheads. Okay. Well, neither of those countries seem to actually have nukes. South Korea's made some. India's dismantled 9, China's made 7, but apparently Egypt has bought 2 nukes. It doesn't reflect here yet, but apparently Egypt's bought 2 nukes from Finland. At least 2 warheads. Yeah, I don't know how that works, but this is like legitimate evidence that I have. Like, this isn't fake. Let's see. Consult secret files, heads of state. I have proof. I have proof that Egypt did this. I also have proof that Saudi Arabia is supplying weapons to terrorist organizations. The UN doesn't care about that. But nuclear missiles. Now, I wish I found something like this on Palestine instead, because Egypt's actually pretty beefy. Fighting them would be tough. However, I can still show this to the UN and then unlock permission to attack them. So let's provide proof to the UN about Egypt. Sufficient for sanctions. I don't want sanctions. I want military intervention, because that lasts forever. So let's go ahead and try to do that. If it doesn't work, then we will try to go for sanctions instead. Not that I'm planning on invading Egypt right this moment. It would be pretty hard to fight them. Assuming, the cheesy commando rush doesn't work in this, which I have yet to test. Even if we went ahead and tried to be very strategic and we used a cyber attack, how far could we even get? Let me find a unit to test the distance. Like if we were leaving from here. Come here. Going here would be... Wow, yeah, that's a lot of distance just to get to their capital. Their capital probably has a lot of troops. I can check, actually. Yep, their capital has more soldiers in it than I even have soldiers total at the moment. Insufficient deposits of uranium. I don't have anyone for uranium, though. I already know that it doesn't have deposits. Adjust total workforce. No, get rid of it. I told you 0. My God. Uranium sector shutting down. Yeah, I already did that, man. Economy's sad about that still. Classy that I decreased my salary at the very least as another demonstration. Employers, armed forces are happy with me. My salary is down. Once again, shutting down. That was kind of a shitty change to my popularity. I don't think I deserved that. I already decided to do it. It just didn't go through. That's kind of, that's a stupid hit right there. Whatever. Apparently we have a chance to do some industrial espionage against China, which I will gladly go ahead and attempt at least. I did go ahead and I applied, by the way. I went to organizations. I saw that Saudi Arabia joined the Economic Cooperation Organization or whatever. So I decided to apply for them as well. I don't know who's in it or what they do because I can't click on it to see because the game's bugged. Growth is down a small amount. Unemployment's still dropping. Everything seems to be going fine. So I'm over here looking at our basically rules on things, and I find that the people would be a lot or a decent amount happier if I took the law on pornography, eroticism, pornography, and I change it from controls and censorship to just plain old censorship for minors, which makes a lot more sense, which may ironically boost the pornography industry and generate more tax income from it, as well as making our people happier. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Everything else is pretty much on that second, point. Nationalization's gone through. We just got information, suspicions that Iran wants to develop a nuclear weapons program. We need more than suspicions, typically. Space program. All right. What is this demonstration again? It's just the Employer Federal Union. Yeah, the Employer Federal Union's pretty weak, but they can upset people. For whatever reason, while being powerless, they can give me like these negative 5% hits. Okay, we just got a nice little bonus here from human rights, especially human rights. Apparently, freeing up pornography is a human rights issue. The media is happy, the culture's happy, the family is not as happy from that, but the family loves me anyway, so I figured it was pretty worthwhile to take whatever hit from them in order to get that little bonus. I don't really care about the restrictions much. I'm a little concerned or on the fence with freeing up religious restrictions just based on what we are. I will refuse to this. Country's prevailing region does not correspond. Are you telling me I'm not in the right region, but Saudi Arabia is when I'm right next to them? What do you mean insufficient deposits? Hello? What on earth do you mean by that? I swear to God, how is there manpower? How? This is pissing me off, man. This is like bugged or something. I keep setting it to 0. I keep taking these massive hits in popularity because I'm setting it to 0. So I guess this is retarded, and I'm just going to go ahead and set it back to this because there's some bug where I can't get the workforce down to 0 anymore. This must be unique to this version of the game. Anyway, prostitution's legal now. The women's rights are not happy. That's the feminists, but women tend to be happy from that. The employers are now angry that I'm denationalizing it. That is so annoying. The president of Chile wants to meet with me, so I'm going to go ahead and set that up. And now we have just gotten proof that the Iranian government bought 2 nuclear missiles from Uganda. What the fuck? That makes no sense at all. This just has to be randomly generated because the player cannot buy nuclear missiles. When someone buys nuclear missiles, they don't actually have the nuclear missiles. So I'm going to guess that that's just a random event that gets generated in order to give nukes to countries that are trying to pursue nukes that are NPCs. We have our meeting with Chile here. Let's see what you want. You want to sell me cereals. I'm already purchasing a lot of cereals, but the game would say that I'm purchasing way too much. I'm not purchasing my full consumption, however, but you are not producing as much as you need either. While realistically we do need more, man, I don't know. I can try. Let's only if you're willing to negotiate, though. Like a good amount. Let's send that over. I don't want to go that high. That's the thing. I'll give you 200. I'll give you 210. 215. Okay, 215 for all that cereal. So that makes up more of what we have to buy, which we're getting for a cheaper price, which will help anything that relies on cereals, which I guess would include the purchasing power of the people. The cereals industry is weird. It's not like Kellogg's cereal, which makes it confusing. And I forget if it's in industry or not. No, it's going to be in farming. So if we go look at it in farming, cereals, we'll see that it is affected by water supply network. Like it's grown, and it affects a whole bunch of other things. I don't think I can see it here though, but it's not. Yeah, look, it's something you grow. It's not like, Kellogg's cereal. It's something unique. I don't really know what. We've infiltrated the Russian mafia. That's good. And the law on pornography has gone through, which gives us a human rights boost. The United States just had a fatal earthquake in Oregon. That's sad. So we got the results back on Egypt, and it's kind of funny. Russia and China voted yes. Everyone else was pretty not interested in it. Funny that Russia and China were the ones to vote yes, but we now know where we stand here. So I'm going to take a look here. I want to try this again. Who all do I have actual information on right now? So I have proof against Iran and proof against Egypt. So we're towards the end of the episode here, but I want to do this right before we end here. So provide proof against Egypt and then move onwards. and evidence sufficient, we're going to go for sanctions then, rather than intervention, because intervention may be a bit difficult. Sanctions at least opens up intervention afterwards. So let's go ahead and ask for sanctions against Egypt. And as for Iran, let's provide proof against Iran. And evidence sufficient for sanctions. Let's ask for just that. Even though I'm pretty sure most of the world already has sanctions of some kind against Iran, we're going to get that full sanctions, because the moment sanctions goes through, everyone pretty much just stops all importing and exporting to and from those countries, which would make them worse off, which would make them hopefully easier to invade, which would make them hopefully, just more hated, and then just be good for us, I guess. We got another person in Palestine. Man, I hope we find some proof against Palestine. Otherwise, I hope I can eventually get onto the UN Security Council. China's someone I need to somehow make like me. They need to have a disaster or something that I can give money to. They haven't had any. Even then, I don't have much money to give, but we have a nice full episode. It's been a bit rough of an episode. The first two were pretty easy, but my focus this episode has really just been on climbing my popularity, which we do have up to 94%. It has gotten higher. We're almost to 100. And when it gets to 100, we'll be safer to go and start removing certain things and doing things for the good of the country that the people or someone might actually hate, and it would cause problems. But we're getting places. We're definitely a lot further into this playthrough than we were in any other playthrough that we've done prior in such a short amount of time. That's going to be it for today, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.